There's some hot consumer names reporting this week. What are they? I brought you some of them and some other excellent earnings all stars charts for this week. And earnings season's still rolling on, and we're going to have many more companies still to go. We haven't even really gotten to the retailers yet, although there's been a few reporting here and there, but we're starting to get some of those types of names as we move forward through this week, and we will be getting them in the next 2 weeks. So let's see, what are the big consumer names you should be watching? I've brought them. Let's dive in. Okay, the first one is in shoes, and it's Crocs, ticker CROX. And look at its good earnings surprise track record. Just that one miss right around when COVID started and everything was shutting down. After that, it's been green, green, green. And that's pretty impressive given all the supply chain issues that are coming out of Southeast Asia and China over the last couple of years. But those have seemingly righted the ship now, so we should be okay on that. And freight costs have come down, so that's a good thing for Crocs as well. But over the last year, you can see the shares started 2023 pretty hot and then sold off. Now they've gotten a little bit of rebound into those October lows, but over the last year, only up 9.5%. Down 9.95%, down over that period because we started off a little bit hotter here in 2023, but over the last year, up 12 point, over year to date, up 15.1. I'm getting all my time periods messed up this morning, but year to date, it's getting a little bit of a boost. These shares have always been cheap, so it has been a value play. But are the Crocs still as hot as they were a year ago? The shoe brand was actually hot a year ago. We will see. It's always a little iffy with any of these kind of consumer names that are built on the trends. So that's Crocs, ticker CROX. Then we're going to switch over to a big pandemic winner in YETI. It has beat 3 quarters in a row. Everybody's buying the coolers and all of that during the pandemic. And you can see it soared much like Crocs did, but it came down in 2022. And then it's really just been going nowhere. It's just been meandering. But sometimes with these growth stocks, this is what happens. It will trade sideways for a number of years before the earnings kind of catch back up on the valuation, and valuation becomes a little more attractive. So, year to date, these shares are actually down here. As you can see, this little bit decline right there. 1 year, they're up 12.4 because they're just kind of meandering. That's under the S&P 500, which is up 23%. But YETI, with the good earnings surprise track record, just those 2 misses in the last 5 years. Then we're going to switch over to the restaurant side, and we're going to revisit Shake Shack. I've talked about them many times over the years here on the Earnings All-Stars chart because look at this. They've got a very good earnings surprise track record. Even with all the chaos that went on in restaurants during the pandemic, they only had that one miss during the pandemic, and then they turned it around in terms of the beats. But business always just difficult in those first couple of years, 2020, 2021. Then shares sold off in 2022 and hit those bottoms. Been a little bit, volatile ever since with the the stock rallying in 2023. Then we had this big pullback. Now we've rallied again. 1 year, the shares are up, but over the, and they're trading near the 1 year high right here. But over the last 5 years, if you're looking out at this long chart, it's up 56.6%. That is actually underperforming the S&P 500 during that 5-year period. But this is a stock that people like to trade more than buying and holding, it seems. So do you want to trade it here when it's, at its 1 year high? That is the question always, but Shake Shack should be interesting here as we get this report rolling in. Then we're going to switch it over to some of the other hot names on the stock chart and with investors. Coinbase is one of those. And you can see it's put together 3 big beats in a row. So that's pretty impressive. Over the last year, these shares have rallied, as you can see, with that big rally off the October lows. And that was in anticipation of these cryptocurrency ETFs launching. And over the last year, up 48% now. But it has pulled back at the start of this year, down 18% here to start 2024. Over the last 2 years, if you look at that stack, it actually is down 27%. So if you had bought the 2021 IPO, you're still in the red here. But this one's all about timing. And if you can get it cheaper, then it looks like maybe you might be rewarded, because investors who bought here when the stock was pretty stagnant over those almost 2 year period have made a little bit here as this stock has come off its lows. So this is one a lot of people are going to be watching, and me too. That's Coinbase, ticker COIN. And then we're going to wrap it up with another stock that was hot during the pandemic and then also saw the big sell-off. Roku, ticker ROKU. Woo. It is fairly good on the earnings surprise front. Just the 3 misses, but one of them was last quarter, so that's caused a little bit of jitters. Year to date, the shares are down 3.7%, but over the last year, they have come off the lows and they're up 74%. But if you go out on a bigger stack, over the last 2 years, now down 41% as they came off of these really strong all-time highs there and are still remaining kind of under this $100 level. And they did, tap it once last year. So Roku, also a popular stock with the good earnings surprise track record, kind of reminds me of Twilio in that way. But the shares kind of stuck in this range over the last 2 years, but you have to really time it to see any gains. And we'll see, can it break out and get back above that $100 range? That's what everybody's going to be watching this week. So as you can see, this is kind of a mixed bag with a lot of the charts that are coming. We had the Magnificent Seven. We've had some other tech names and consumer names that have been breaking out. And now we're going to see a lot of these companies that either broke out during the pandemic and then broke down, and we're still waiting to see if they can get back to those highs, or if they will in the next couple of years even. And then we're seeing some of these that were recent IPOs. And by recent, I mean starting in 2020 and 2021. So what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks? There's still a lot more companies still to report, and I'll be bringing them all to you. So get them all at Zacks.com/YouTube, and I'll see you again next week with some more earnings charts.